Have you ever found yourself pausing mid-step at an airport, not because you were lost, but because suddenly the energy just wasn't there? You look around at the people rushing past, younger couples juggling kids in backpacks, travelers briskly walking to their gates, and you realize this doesn't feel as easy as it used to. Maybe it started with something small, like feeling winded after walking from the parking lot, or realizing the suitcase you used to carry with ease now strains your shoulder. Maybe your legs ached the day after sightseeing, or you forgot where you put your passport and panicked for a moment. These aren't just forgetful slip-ups or tired muscles. They're signs, quiet ones, that your body and mind are changing, and that traveling in your 70s is a very different journey than it was in your 40s. But no one talks about that part. The glossy brochures show smiling couples on a cruise deck. Travel ads promise adventure, discovery, excitement. And while that's still possible, they often leave out the hidden risks that come with age. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Because traveling after 70 can be rewarding, but it also requires a new kind of awareness. In this video, we're going to gently walk through 5 hidden dangers of traveling after 70. These are the kinds of issues that most people never mention until they happen, like fatigue that lingers longer than expected, or medical complications that show up far from home, or even that unsettling feeling of disorientation in a crowded train station. But we're not here to discourage you. We're here to empower you, to help you stay one step ahead, so your next trip brings joy, not regret. If you've ever wondered whether it's still safe or wise to book that next vacation, or if you've had even one moment of hesitation, I invite you to stay with me through this entire video. You might just find the reassurance and clarity you've been looking for. And if you find this helpful, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel. That way you'll never miss our weekly stories designed to help you live well and age wisely. Now let's begin with the first danger many seniors don't see coming, but feel it deeply, often within the first day of their trip. Unseen physical strain that sneaks up on you. It's easy to remember a time when long flights were just a mild inconvenience, a little stiffness, a restless night. But now even a few hours in a cramped seat can leave your legs aching for days. At 70 and beyond, your body doesn't bounce back like it once did. And that matters, because what feels like a small strain early in the trip can quietly snowball into something that ruins the rest of your journey. For many seniors, the biggest physical challenge of travel isn't just the distance, it's the pace. You're walking more than usual, climbing stairs in old buildings, lifting bags into overhead bins, trying to keep up with a tour group that doesn't wait. All these little physical demands add up, especially when they happen day after day, and the toll it takes on joints, muscles, and energy levels is real. Eleanor, a 73-year-old from New Mexico, had been dreaming of visiting Portugal for years. She planned carefully, chose charming hotels, packed her favorite walking shoes, but by the 3rd day after trekking up steep hills and hauling her suitcase over cobblestones, she felt something shift in her lower back. The sciatica pain she hadn't felt in years flared up again, and just like that, the rest of her trip was spent resting in the hotel. She missed out on the wine tours, the day trip to the coast. Even dinners out became too much. She later said, "I thought I was in shape, but I forgot how hard travel can be on the body when you're older." Stories like Eleanor's aren't rare. According to the CDC, seniors are at significantly higher risk for injuries caused by falls, muscle fatigue, and dehydration while traveling. And these issues often begin with simple overexertion. That's why pacing is so important. Planning alternating rest days, choosing hotels with elevators, staying longer in fewer places. These aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of wisdom. But even if your body's ready, there's another kind of vulnerability that can turn a small problem into a serious crisis. And it often starts with a single forgotten item in a suitcase. medication, and medical access gaps abroad. Traveling with a suitcase is one thing, traveling with a health condition is another. And what many seniors don't realize is that the safety net they rely on at home doesn't always follow them overseas. Your regular doctor isn't just a phone call away. Your pharmacy may not carry the same medications. And in some countries, the healthcare system operates in ways that can feel completely unfamiliar. Imagine trying to explain a heart condition to a nurse who doesn't speak your language, or walking into a clinic only to find out they don't accept your insurance. These are not rare situations. For seniors, they're common. Tom, a 76-year-old retired firefighter from Oregon, thought he had planned everything for his trip to Mexico City. But during a layover, his carry-on was taken by mistake. Inside were his prescription medications, including the pills he needed to manage his blood pressure. He assumed he could just get a refill locally, but the pharmacy didn't carry the same formulation. And the substitutes required a local prescription, which he didn't have. It took 3 days, 2 clinic visits, and a lot of stress before he got what he needed. By then, his blood pressure had already begun to climb. He ended up cutting his trip short. This kind of disruption isn't just frustrating, it can be dangerous. According to a report from the National Institute on Aging, over 60% of adults over 65 take at least 5 medications daily. That means any interruption can pose serious health risks. The solution is not to stay home. It's to plan smarter, see your doctor before the trip. Carry a printed list of your medications. Pack extra doses in your carry-on. And always check if your insurance covers care in your destination. If it doesn't, invest in a travel policy that does. It's not just about peace of mind, it's about making sure your health isn't left to chance. Now, even with your body supported and your medicine close by, there's another challenge waiting, one that doesn't come from the outside but from within. And it often strikes when you least expect it. Mental exhaustion from constant decision-making. At home, everything has a rhythm. You know where your keys go, which drawer holds your vitamins, what time the sun hits the kitchen window. But the moment you step into a new country, that rhythm disappears. Suddenly you're juggling new time zones, confusing signs, unfamiliar currency, and a never-ending stream of choices. For seniors, this isn't just tiring, it's mentally draining in a way that can quietly chip away at your confidence. Cognitive fatigue doesn't always feel like exhaustion. Sometimes it looks like missed exits, or standing too long at a kiosk trying to figure out what button to press, or overpaying for a cab because you were too tired to argue. And that mental overload can increase the risk of real mistakes. Missing medications, getting lost, even falling for scams you'd usually spot in a heartbeat. Sandra, a 75-year-old from Florida, loved to travel solo. She had visited over a dozen countries. But on her recent trip to Istanbul, something changed. After an overnight flight and a confusing airport transfer, she got on the wrong tram. She ended up in a district far from her hotel with no cell service and no one around who spoke English. For 2 hours, she wandered, growing more anxious by the minute. When she finally made it back, she told her daughter, "It wasn't the city that scared me. It was how scrambled my mind felt, like I couldn't think clearly when I needed to." Her story is not unusual. Studies from Harvard Health show that cognitive processing speed tends to decline gradually after age 60, especially in unfamiliar or high-stimulation environments. That doesn't mean seniors can't travel. It just means the brain needs more recovery time, more quiet, less pressure to figure everything out at once. If you're planning a trip, give yourself breathing room. Build in buffer time between flights and tours. Use apps to simplify directions and translations. And don't rely entirely on your phone. Print things out. Keep a small, organized folder with addresses, key phrases, and your full itinerary. It takes the pressure off your mind so you can focus on enjoying the journey. Still, even if you keep your mind sharp and your plans solid, there's something else that can catch you off guard. It's not about logistics. It's about how it feels when everything around you suddenly feels unfamiliar. Emotional disconnection in unfamiliar environments. There's a kind of homesickness that doesn't show up right away. It creeps in quietly after the excitement of arrival fades. You find yourself missing your own bed, your routines, your corner grocery store. For seniors especially, losing those familiar patterns can stir a deep sense of disconnection, not just from place, but from yourself. In your own community, you feel grounded. You know how things work. You speak the language. But when every conversation takes extra effort, even ordering lunch can feel like a chore. That mental load adds to the emotional weight. It's no wonder some seniors start to withdraw halfway through their trip. They retreat to the hotel, skip meals, or cancel tours, not because they're tired, but because they feel like outsiders. Harold, a 78-year-old widower, took a trip to Japan with his daughter. It had always been on his bucket list, but just a few days in, he started skipping activities. At first, he said he needed rest, but later he admitted the crowd signs and unfamiliar customs made him feel small. He didn't want to be a burden, so he stayed behind, alone in the hotel room while his daughter explored temples and markets. These moments are hard to talk about, but they're real, and they matter, because travel is meant to enrich your spirit, not isolate it. That's why emotional preparation is just as important as packing your bags. Stay connected to home. Schedule regular video calls. Bring small comforts that make your space feel familiar. Learn a few basic phrases in the local language. Even just saying hello or thank you can go a long way in breaking the ice and building confidence. And if you're traveling for more than a week, consider staying in one place longer. Giving yourself time to settle in can make the world feel a little less overwhelming. Of course, even when you feel emotionally grounded and physically ready, there's still one last danger to be aware of. And this one doesn't come from inside you. It comes from those watching from the outside. Targeting by scammers and criminals. Most travelers want to believe the world is safe, and most of the time it is. But there are people who see older tourists as easy targets. They look for the signs: slower movement, confused glances, hesitation at street corners. To a seasoned scammer, that's an invitation. Pickpockets overcharging taxi drivers, fake ticket agents. These aren't stories you only hear about. They happen every day. And for seniors, recovering from a scam emotionally and financially can be much harder. Marjorie, 74, was traveling through Paris when it happened to her. A man approached her asking for directions while she stood near a busy metro stop. Flustered, she tried to help. A moment later, he was gone, and so was her wallet. It took days to replace her credit cards and passport. But what stuck with her most was the feeling of vulnerability, the realization that someone had seen her as easy prey. No one deserves to feel that way. And while we can't control the actions of others, we can take steps to protect ourselves. Walk with purpose, even if you're unsure. Keep valuables close and out of sight. Use anti-theft gear when possible, and research common scams in the area before you arrive. Knowledge is armor, and confidence is one of the best deterrents. As one seasoned traveler said, "We don't avoid the world, but we stay sharp in it." That wisdom is something every senior traveler deserves to carry with them. If there's one message I hope you carry with you today, it's this: growing older doesn't mean you have to stop exploring. It simply means you need to explore a little differently, with more care, more awareness, and a lot more kindness toward yourself. Travel in your 70s is not about pushing your limits. It's about honoring them. It's about saying yes to new experiences while also saying yes to rest, to preparation, and to the quiet power of knowing your needs and meeting them without apology. You are not fragile. You are wise. And that wisdom gives you the ability to travel smarter than ever before, to ask better questions, to plan more thoughtfully, to listen to your body, and to protect your peace. Because the truth is, it's not about how far you go or how many countries you see. It's about how you feel while you're out there. Confident, safe, present. That's what makes a trip worth taking. So if you've been feeling unsure, If part of you still wonders whether it's time to slow down or stay home, just remember, it's never too late to take the trip, as long as you take care of yourself along the way. And if there's one idea from today that I hope stays with you, it's this. Preparation isn't a burden. It's a gift you give yourself. The difference between a joyful journey and a stressful one often comes down to how honestly we plan for the realities of our age. If you found something meaningful in this video, I'd be honored if you'd like it. Subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel for more gentle, helpful insights each week. And if you feel comfortable, leave a comment below. Tell us your story. What have you learned from traveling after 70? Or what's one destination still on your list? Your words could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, travel wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.